Watch, and I'll show you how to start seedlings and get plants like this in 30 days. Join me on this adventure of how to grow plants fast when you're lazy like me to get seedlings for the garden. You know, if you're lazy like I am about getting the garden going, you really don't start your seeds on time. Well, for the past few years, I've been experimenting, and I can show you easily how to get plants like this in 30 days. Now, you can't just leave it alone like the old wives' tales of 6 to 8 weeks. You can't let them sit there and ignore them. Can't do it. If you do, you'll have dead plants. This year is my first year where I grew them in these larger containers. These are the smallest containers. These 3 4-inch solo cups. These are as small as I ever recommend, otherwise you're transplanting very quickly. So what we're going to do next here is, you can see we've got tomatoes, we've got our peppers, and I experimented with doing some herbs, and there's some problems with the herbs. I didn't get full germination. We got parsley here, which is taking quite well. I've got one more pepper plant here. And as you can tell, our basil's taken quite well. The problem is I didn't put a dome over these soon enough. And I got, unfortunately, a whole bunch of seeds that went too deep. Next, I'll go ahead and show you the parts list. Let's cover what we're going to need to grow these seedlings fast. I apologize right up front. We're going to be doing the camera by hand here, so we're going to take our time and move slowly for you. We'll work our way through the list here. Start off with, of course, you realize, you got to have some containers to put the soil in, and I'm using essentially these clear, solo type cups. Put holes in the bottom. Some of these cups are actually what I bought seedlings in, so you can use those. This is my first year using these larger containers, and I can tell you I originally started with 50 cell tray holders. So you have to transplant up, and that just it really stunts the growth of it, as you saw there at the beginning of the video. But I do colored tags, and I write down what variety of tomato is this particular color tag, and then I tag everything, and I load up the trays like this. If you're starting herbs, like we covered how they went, and we'll cover more at the end of the video, you may need a dome to put them in. So this will help keep the soil moist on top so that you can start those more delicate seedlings. I like to use old cleaned gallon milk containers. I mix up my fertilizer and keep standard water here for them. So I highly recommend that. I got a watering can in case I want to do some top watering. Most of the time I water from the bottom and let it wick up. But when you're first starting to seed and you've got things like herbs and real fine seeds, you want to make sure that you miss the top. So I also recommend that you have a squirt bottle here. And we're kind of moving around, you're kind of seeing different things. You're going to need fertilizer. These plants are being given 24/7 light, and they are being given a lot of PPFD. And the soil is not going to compost and break down fast enough to handle the growth rate of the plants. So I use here, as you can see, a Jack's 20-20-20 fertilizer, and I just mix with a gallon of water, just a little teaspoon. It's more than enough to get these plants going. I keep a pair of scissors as well for clipping off extra plants that come up, because I usually do 2 or 3 per container for the larger plants. And then you can see here, of course, you got to have your seeds. You know your seeds, and why the heck are we here? Also, this is optional, but I recommend it. This is a temperature, humidity, and vapor pressure meter. If you let temperature and humidity go awry, these plants won't grow as fast, and you won't see what you want to be seeing. And then because we're really pushing these plants at a high speed beyond what they're used to, and the containers are smaller, we want to make sure that you have an inexpensive PAR meter. You have to measure the light intensity. If you do not, you are going to most likely burn your top leaves because you've let the lights get too close. Now, when it comes to lights, for me, this is a custom light, but that's okay. This over this growing area, this is just a little bit less than 6 square feet. It's probably about 5 square feet. I hold here 3 11 by 17 trays, and this light is rated for 150 watts. So it's about 30 watts of light per foot. So if you're going to push it a little bit larger, you might need 180 watts to cover a 2 by 3 foot area. You can't skimp on the light. This technique requires the amount of light to be here, which is something you're not used to. So let's go ahead and, I'm not going to show you the seed planting. I'm not going to show you, setting these trays up or anything like that. Everybody pretty much knows how to plant their seeds and follow the instructions. Let's take a look at the most important part of this whole setup, and that's adjusting the light levels. Because you want to make sure these are at the correct level to get the maximum growth you can out of your plants and to avoid burning the leaves. The light does get intense enough to where you can burn the tops of the leaves. So we want to try to avoid that. When you burn the leaves, they call it bleaching. Because what happens is the leaves will actually turn white, and that's because the blue light from the LEDs are actually breaking apart the chlorophyll, and that's what causes the leaf damage there. In our discussion here for setting this shelf would be the top of the pots. When you turn the light on, when you see the first sprouts coming up, you get that light turned on, you want to take your meter and get it in the center of the light, like I've got it here. And you want to be at the tops of the pots. So you can set your meter right on the tops of the pots, like I've got this here on the shelf. And you want to adjust the light level, the height here of the light going down, so that you read 600 ppfd on the PAR meter. You want to at least be at 600 in the center. Depending on if you're trying to save energy, you may have your light intensity turned down. What you'll want to do is you'll want to take your meter and you're going to move your meter up till it gets to 800. Now you can see right here, because of how close I have things, it reaches 800 very, very quickly. You don't want to go much above 800. Going above 800, you start risking harming the plants. What you'll do is I'll show you here, it's currently reading right now 800, and I've got it kind of turned a little wonky here. But if I click the switch, now my light turns down, and it goes all the way down to 537. So what's going to happen is when your plant tops get back up to this nice high level, above the top of the pot, if the shelf is the top of your pot and the plants get this few inches tall, you're going to move the light up again until at this height, where the tops of the leaves are, you want it to read 600 again. And then what will happen is, you'll get the light up, you'll see where the 600 is, and then you'll watch the plants grow up again. And they'll grow up another amount, and they'll go up to 800 again up here. And that's when you need to decide whether they're too big for the pots or it's time to move it out. But that's the general discussion. I'll do some close-ups of the light here so that we can take a look at the meter here. So let's get some meter close-ups here for you. Now, lucky me, just when I was getting ready to film this, the meter turned off here. So let's go ahead and pop it back on. As you can see here, it's around just a little over 600, 607 or so. Now, it's that low because I'm interfering with the light a little bit here, trying to get you a nice close-up of it. So, if I pick the meter up now, you'll see here as we come up that at a distance here now, we get above 800 ppfd. So we always want to keep our plants in this range right here. Stay tuned and let's go through the 30 days together. And there's little comments here and there that I'm going to leave in. And you'll see, the successes and the failures. So let's go ahead and start the 30-day run. Today is day 1. I just got all the seedlings planted. And now we'll see how fast we can get them to sprout and grow up to a size we can move outside. This section here, we actually have some tomato plants in the first tray. These last 2 trays are a few different pepper varieties. Down below here, I've got 1 tray with Genovese basil and lemon basil. And then on the left-hand tray here, I've got 2 different types of parsley. One will be a nice, beautiful purple color, and then the other is a traditional flat leaf parsley. Day 2. And as you can tell, not much change from day 1. We'll check back tomorrow at day 3. Welcome to day 3. Not much showing up yet. Soon we'll be turning the lights on. I just turn them on right now so you can see what's going on here. As soon as we start getting some sprouting, we'll get the lights on here for you. Start getting these seeds going. And we'll see you again at day number 4. Hello and welcome to day 4. No changes yet. Pretty much what we expect. I just did a misting of the tops of them just to make sure the soil is staying moist. Hello and welcome to day 5. We're not seeing much sprouting up yet. I'm going to leave the lights on low just in case things start sprouting here. I don't expect to see these for possibly the pepper ones for another 5 days or so. The tomatoes should be coming up in a few days, hopefully. And down here, the herbs, well, they should start really coming up here pretty quickly. So we're going to leave the lights on low, leave them up high here. As soon as I see things sprout, we'll get to turn on the lights on high and get them down lower at the proper intensity here. We'll get these plants growing. See you on day 6. Hello, day 6. Not much changes yet. Look at the tops up here. I don't see anything yet. Let's pop down to the nothing yet, but any day now. Any day now. We'll see you tomorrow on day 7. Hello and welcome to day 7. Today we're going to start showing you the signs of life. Not much is coming up yet. If we come over to our tomatoes over here, you'll see that we've got some tomatoes just popping up. So we'll see you on day 8. Hello everybody and welcome to day 8. We are coming along here. You can see that our tomatoes are all coming up. Peppers, it'll probably be another few days before the peppers really start coming up. But because the tomatoes are up, we had to get this light set. And you're going to notice here, I'm going to try to get in on the meter, that we've got 610 ppfd here currently. So that's what we want to have the plants out at the bottom. You come down to the bottom and I've just about got the light here set for it. This is our day 8 and we'll see you tomorrow to see the progress of things. And day 9. We're doing pretty good on the tomatoes. And we're starting to see our herbs pop up down below here. Back in the back corner, it looks like the basil's coming up. And we'll see you at day 10. Hello and welcome to day number 10. We did a couple of changes here today. I took our tomato plants And you'll see here now that they're in the center here now. They're coming up much faster than the peppers, of course. Now down below, the herbs I think may have been having some troubles coming up. Some of them are. What I did is I put these covers over just to help out with the soil drying. Tomorrow I'll pop them off if I start seeing some stuff coming up more. Otherwise, we're going to leave them on for a few days and we're going to see what happens. But we'll see you back here again at day 11. It's day 11, and we've had some great progress today. And I want to let you all see here, we have peppers starting to come up now. The tomatoes, as you can see here, are all just coming along real nice, and we've got some peppers coming up over there. Tomorrow I'll pull off the covers here for you to see the herbs here a little better, but you know, they're down here doing their thing. We have the lights on now, currently 24/7. We'll check back in with you on good old day 12. Welcome to day 12. You can see here on day 12, we've got our pepper plants really starting to come up now. And you can see we've got pepper plants that are slowly working on coming up over here as well. Our tomato plants now are starting to get their first true leaves. We're really going to start seeing some explosive growth here coming on those. So we'll see you tomorrow at day 13. Welcome to day 13. You can see we're coming along quite nicely here. The peppers are going. I get a feeling that this particular set of peppers are the bad seeds that we've had for the past few years. They've never come up for us, but we're going to see what happens. You can see our tomatoes are really coming along. We're getting our first true leaves on them. See them all back there just cruising along. And over here, we got more and more pepper seeds starting to come up. I bottom water, as you can see here, and we've been doing it now with the half-strength fertilizer in the water. And then you can see down here, it's a little tough, but you can see now our herbs are really starting to come up now. This basil here is a little slow. I think I planted a little too deep. The other variety of basil's coming up there and back. These are two varieties of parsley. You can see they're starting to get going here. And we'll see you back here again on day 14. It's day 14. Yeah, this round of peppers is looking pretty good over here. Got a couple that haven't come up. Our one stubborn one here, we've had one out of the 4 come up. Tomato plants are in rocking mode. You can see, look at this. Another, I don't know, it'll be less than a week. It'll probably be within a few days. We're going to go in and we're going to start trimming out the excess plants on the tomatoes. You can see we got more peppers coming up over here. So let's pop down below here. Now you can see the herbs are just kind of coming along. It was an afterthought, so you know, we're just going to see what happens. But you know what? We'll see you guys again on day 15. It's day 15. The only thing we really did today is, of course, you know, misted the tops. And I went through the tomato plants, and they're all trimmed back to just 1 plant per container now. Peppers will start taking off soon. And as you can see, the herbs down there are just doing their thing. And we'll see you again at day 16. It's day 16, and you can see our pepper plants, they're coming along. They're moving along slow. This is to be expected. And you can see our other pepper plants over here are doing quite nicely. And you can see, you know, the tomatoes are in the lead. You know, and just as a reminder, this is 600 to 800 ppfd hitting these tomato plants for 24 hours a day. And you can see how quickly they're starting to really grow now that they've got their true leaves. And, you know, our herbs are just kind of coming along down here, my afterthought. So we'll see you again for the next day, day 17. As you can tell, nothing too exciting, just things still growing along here. Did some bottom watering, half strength for the nutrient. You can see on the tomatoes really how green the leaves are. Yeah, our peppers are doing fine out there. Then, of course, you know, our herbs are just cruising along back here. But we'll talk to you again tomorrow. Day 18. As we can see, changes are slowly occurring. We're starting to get some true leaves on some of the peppers. This is a great sign. We're kind of okay over here. The peppers are doing their thing. The tomatoes are just cruising along. And we're doing pretty good here on the herbs and stuff. We'll see you again tomorrow. Just a quick stop by on day 19. We're cruising along in the pepper, starting to get some true leaves coming on some of them. Well, our stars here to the tomatoes, they're coming along. We should have them out of here probably another 10 days. We'll get these out and we'll start hardening them off and get them into the garden. One of my changes this year is I use these larger pots instead of the small ones. Now I don't have to do any up potting. Yeah, this is just the herbs down here. They're just kind of doing their thing. Yeah. We'll see you again tomorrow. Day 20. And you can tell we're just moving along here. Yeah, nothing exciting. I really need to get the peppers pulled out now. It looks like whatever's going to come up is going to come up. I need to go through and find the best in some of these pots. I have two here and start clipping them back like I did the tomatoes. Our stars here are just absolutely doing wonderful. And we're just going to peer at our afterthought of herbs here. And those are going to take a little bit more. You can see we've got water in the bottom of the trays. I watered today with a full strength fertilizer in my water. So we'll see you next time, tomorrow. Day 21, we're moving along. We're getting some nice plants going here, at least for the ones that came up. Our tomato patch is really starting to look nice now. Take a look at this. Look how big these things are starting to get now. They're going to be store size in another 10 days here. The peppers will take a little bit longer. Once they get up and growing, they'll start growing fast under these lights too. Yeah, we're just going to pop down here real quick so you can see down below down here. Moving along, and we'll see you tomorrow. Day 22, we're cruising along. We've got our peppers just moving along here. Did a little bit of trim up and removed some of the double plants. The light's up a little better, so hopefully the peppers should do a little bit here. Our tomato plants, well, they're cruising along. We're going to be getting these out soon. Peppers are looking really good there. You can see our herbs are going along, but that's how these are cruising along, and we'll see you tomorrow. Just doing a quick stop at day 23. Not much to say today. Just going to do a quick pan around here for you. Let you see how things are doing. See how the field the tomatoes are looking. We're going to get those outside soon. Well, there's the herbs just hanging out down there. And we'll see you again tomorrow. Day 24. Not much to report. We're just kind of cruising along here. Tomatoes are getting big. Might have to go a little early. The peppers are coming along. And, just a quick look. Here's how the herbs are doing here. I got lots of comments at the end of the video on what I did wrong with the herbs starting them. The poor performance of them down here is my fault, not the fault of the method here. But we'll see you tomorrow. Day 25. I've rearranged just a little bit. We've started now hardening off the tomato plants here. They're getting quite large. And start hardening them off so we can get them outside in the gardens. You can see we got the peppers in right here doing their thing just like they are. And then, of course, down below is our wonderful herbs down there. We'll see you again tomorrow. Day 26. We're just going to do a quick spin through here. As you can tell, the tomatoes are doing great. We've been slowly working on hardening them off. You can see we're moving along here with the peppers and all of that. There's those peppers over there just starting to really cruise along. Quick stop by to look at the herbs. I'll start hardening these things off as well. A lot of these we can really start working to get outside now as well. We'll see you tomorrow. Day 27. Another few days, we're going to get these out in the garden. They've been hardening off real nice here. The pepper plants, we're going to start hardening them off here soon. Then, our herbs are down here just cranking along. We'll see you tomorrow. Day 28. Our tomato jungle, as you can see here, is going along great. The hardening process is really taking well. Peppers are coming along here, and we'll start hardening them off in a couple days. Just to give you a quick stop by here, you can see how the herbs are doing. Talk to you tomorrow. It's day 29. We're just going to do a quick spin through here. Tomatoes have got some really good sun outside today. Gonna go over everything tomorrow. We got some leaf curling a little bit. But that's okay. You can see our peppers are doing well. I've started hardening them off. And then, we'll talk about the herbs down here tomorrow and their issues. But we shall see you tomorrow at day 30. It's day 30. We're going to pretty much wrap this up for you to show you what happens in 30 days. We're going to get the plants moved outside for you here, and we'll talk about what's been happening. Now, hopefully you enjoyed that wonderful run of the 30 days of the plants growing and commentary along the way. There are going to be a lot of you who are going to tell me, no, I did not do it. No, it took way longer. Well, you're going to have to try it yourself. Flame me all you want in the comments. I really don't care. To give you an idea, you can see here, we've got the root development here, and these have been hardened off. These will probably go in the garden either today or tomorrow. They've been over the last week. We've been hardening these off. These are going to start putting flowers on here real soon. Our peppers here, you're taking a look at them here. They take a little bit longer to germinate, so they're a little slower. These should be ready and pretty good size in about another 5 to 10 days. They're one of the few that take a little bit longer just because of the germination time. We'll start hardening them off now so we can get them out in the garden, because peppers up here for us are very, very sensitive on sunlight. So I have to take my time and harden them off. And if we need to, we'll cut back on the light. If you want to grow seedlings quick like this, give it a try. If you like what you saw, ring the bell, give me a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button for the hell of it, and I'll talk to you next time and show you another great way to grow plants.